My girlfriend texted, "I'm bringing my ex to your dad's retirement party. Don't make it awkward." I replied, "No problem." Then I told my dad I wouldn't be there and spent the weekend at a beach resort instead. When she walked in alone, everyone wanted to know why I was missing. I'm Connor, 29, and until 3 weeks ago I thought I was in a solid relationship with my girlfriend of 2 years, Melissa. Turns out I was just the placeholder while she figured out her feelings for someone else. My dad worked as an engineer for the same company for 32 years. His retirement party was supposed to be this big celebration, catered dinner at a nice venue, open bar, about 80 people including family, his co-workers, and close friends. My mom had been planning it for months. I'd helped with the guest list, picked out a gift from the family, and even wrote part of the speech I was supposed to give about my dad. This party mattered. 10 days before the event, Melissa and I were having dinner at our apartment. I was scrolling through my phone, looking at the final head count my mom sent me, when Melissa said casually, "So I invited Trevor to your dad's party." I looked up. "Trevor? Your ex, Trevor?" "Yeah," she said, stabbing at her salad. "He's back in town for a few weeks and doesn't know many people here anymore. I thought it would be nice to include him. Let me give you the background. Trevor and Melissa dated for 4 years before I came into the picture. They broke up about 6 months before she and I met, supposedly because Trevor moved to Seattle for work, and neither of them wanted long distance. She'd always insisted they were on good terms, that the breakup was mutual and mature. I'd met Trevor once, briefly, at a group hangout about a year ago. He seemed fine, polite, friendly, didn't give me any weird vibes, but inviting an ex to my dad's retirement party, without asking me first? "Melissa, that's kind of a big deal to decide without talking to me," I said carefully. She looked annoyed. "Connor, we're adults. Trevor and I are friends. It's not a big deal unless you make it one. It's my dad's retirement party. Family and close friends. Why would your ex be there?" "Because I want him there," she said, her tone getting sharper. "Look, I know you can be insecure about Trevor, but that's your issue to work through. I'm bringing him, and I need you to not make it awkward." That word, insecure. She'd been using it a lot lately whenever I questioned anything about her relationship with Trevor. They'd been texting more frequently over the past few months. She'd grab her phone quickly when notifications came in. She'd mentioned him in conversation more often, and every time I brought it up, she'd accuse me of being jealous or insecure. "I'm not making it awkward," I said quietly. "I'm asking why you think it's appropriate to bring your ex-boyfriend to my father's retirement party. Because he's my friend and I want him there." End of discussion. She stood up, took her plate to the sink, and walked to the bedroom. Conversation over. I sat there for a long time thinking. Then I texted my dad. "Hey, can we talk tomorrow?" Just you and me. We met for coffee the next morning. My dad's a straightforward guy. Retired military before he went into engineering. Doesn't deal with nonsense. Values honesty above everything. I told him what happened. I told him Melissa had invited her ex without asking me, and that I was uncomfortable with the whole situation. "What do you want to do?" he asked. "Honestly, I don't want to be there if she's bringing him. But it's your party, and I don't want to miss it because of this." My dad was quiet for a minute. Then he said, "Son, I've watched you with Melissa for 2 years. You're always accommodating her, always bending. She doesn't bend for you. If you don't want to be there because of this situation, I understand. But I think you need to figure out what you really want from this relationship." That conversation stuck with me. He was right. I'd been accommodating Melissa since we started dating. When she wanted to move in together after 6 months, I agreed even though I thought it was fast. When she wanted to adopt a dog I was allergic to, I started taking daily allergy medication. When she wanted to spend holidays with her family instead of splitting time, I went along with it. I kept thinking I was being a good boyfriend, but really I was just being a doormat. That afternoon, I made a decision. I texted Melissa, "You can bring Trevor to the party. I won't make it awkward. No problem. She responded immediately, "Thank you." See? Was that so hard? Then I called my dad back. "I'm not coming to the party. I'll tell Mom I have a work emergency or something so she doesn't stress about it." "You sure?" he asked. "Yeah, but I want you to do something for me. When Melissa shows up, ask her where I am. Act confused. Let her explain to everyone why her boyfriend isn't at his own father's retirement party while she's there with her ex." My dad was silent. Then he laughed, actually laughed. "You're making a point." "I'm done being accommodating." "Good," he said. "It's about damn time." I didn't tell Melissa I wasn't going. For the next week and a half, I let her believe everything was fine. She talked about what she'd wear, asked if Trevor could ride with us to the venue, mentioned how nice it would be for him to reconnect with my family since he'd met them briefly once before. I just nodded and agreed to everything. 3 days before the party, I booked myself a hotel room at a beach resort about 2 hours away. Nice place, ocean view, spa services. I took Friday off work and planned to drive down Thursday evening, spend the weekend completely disconnected. Thursday afternoon, I packed a bag while Melissa was at work. I left her a note on the kitchen counter. Changed my mind about the party. Needed some space to think. Have fun with Trevor. We'll talk when I get back. I turned off my phone and drove to the coast. Update 1. The beach was exactly what I needed. I checked into the hotel around 7 p.m., got dinner at the restaurant downstairs, and went to bed early. Friday morning, I woke up, had breakfast on the balcony overlooking the ocean, and went for a long walk on the beach. No phone, no stress, just quiet. I didn't turn my phone back on until Saturday evening. When I did, I had 73 notifications. Texts, calls, voicemails. About half from Melissa, the rest from my mom, my sister, even a few from family friends who'd been at the party. Melissa's messages started confused. "Where are you? You left a note?" Then angry. "Are you serious right now? You just left?" Then panicked. "Connor, everyone is asking where you are and I don't know what to say." "Call me." Finally desperate. "Please call me back. This is humiliating. Your whole family is looking at me like I did something wrong." My mom's messages were worried. "Honey, Melissa said you're not coming? Is everything okay?" Then concerned. "She showed up with a young man she says is a friend. People are asking about you. What's going on?" My sister Emma's texts were more direct. "Did you seriously dip on Dad's party to prove a point? Because if so, that's savage, and I'm here for it." I called my dad first. He picked up immediately. "How's the beach?" he asked. "Beautiful." "How was the party?" He laughed. "Educational. Melissa showed up with Trevor, spent about 15 minutes looking for you before she realized you weren't coming. When people asked where you were, she said you had a work emergency. Then your mom said you'd taken the day off. The story fell apart pretty quickly." "What happened?" She tried to save face, but honestly, son, it was awkward as hell. Here's this girl at my retirement party with her ex-boyfriend while her actual boyfriend is missing. People noticed. Trevor looked uncomfortable. Your mother was not pleased. Around 8 p.m. they left early. "Did you enjoy your party otherwise?" "Best retirement party I could have asked for," he said, and I could hear the smile in his voice. "The speech you wrote was great. Your uncle read it for you. Everyone had a good time. And your girlfriend learned that actions have consequences." I called my mom next. She was less amused. "Connor James, what on earth were you thinking?" she started. "Mom, did Melissa tell you she invited her ex-boyfriend to Dad's party?" Silence. Then, "No. She said he was a friend visiting from out of town. He's her ex. They dated for 4 years. She told me she was bringing him 10 days ago, and when I said I was uncomfortable, she called me insecure and said I needed to deal with it. So I dealt with it by not going." More silence. Then my mom sighed. "I wish you'd told me this earlier." But I understand why you didn't come. That was inappropriate of her. Is Dad upset I missed it? Your father thinks you're a genius. Those are his exact words. I called Emma last. She answered, laughing. Oh my God, Connor, you should have seen her face when she realized you weren't there. She kept checking her phone, looking around like you might appear. And Trevor just stood there looking like he wanted to disappear. It was the most awkward thing I've ever witnessed. Good, I said. Are you breaking up with her? Yeah, I think I am. Finally, Emma said. She's been treating you like garbage for months. We've all noticed. That stung, but she was right. Update 2. I stayed at the beach through Sunday, then drove home Monday morning. Melissa's car was in the parking lot. I took a breath and went inside. She was sitting on the couch, still in pajamas, looking like she hadn't slept. The apartment was a mess, dishes in the sink, her stuff everywhere. She looked up when I walked in. Where the hell have you been? She said immediately. Beach resort. I told you in the note. You told me nothing, you just left. Do you have any idea how humiliating that was for me? I set my bag down. How humiliating was it for you? You brought your ex-boyfriend to my dad's retirement party. How do you think that was for me? Trevor is my friend. Stop, I interrupted. Stop calling him your friend. He's your ex. You dated for 4 years, and you prioritized bringing him to my family event over how I felt about it. Then you had the nerve to call me insecure when I expressed discomfort. Because you were being insecure. No, Melissa. I was being rational. You want to know what's insecure? Needing your ex-boyfriend at your current boyfriend's family events. You want to know what's disrespectful? Dismissing your partner's feelings because they're inconvenient. She stared at me. Are you breaking up with me? Yeah, I said. I am. This relationship stopped working months ago, and I was too accommodating to see it. You don't respect me. You don't respect my boundaries. And honestly, I think you're still not over Trevor. That's not true. Then why was it so important he be there? Why do you text him constantly? Why do you light up when his name comes up? Melissa, if you want to be with him, just be with him. But stop stringing me along while you figure it out. She started crying. I love you, Connor. I don't want to break up. Then why did you treat me like my feelings didn't matter? She didn't have an answer. I told her she had 2 weeks to find a new place. The apartment lease was in my name. I'd been paying 70% of the rent anyway. She protested, but I was done negotiating. Update 3. Melissa moved out 12 days later. She stayed with a friend while she looked for her own apartment. The conversations were minimal, logistics about furniture, bills, the security deposit. She tried a few times to have closure conversations, but I wasn't interested. 2 weeks after she left, my sister sent me a screenshot. Melissa had posted on Instagram a photo of her and Trevor at some restaurant. Caption was something about finding your way back to what matters. They were officially together. Wow, that was fast, Emma texted. It wasn't fast, I replied. It was already happening. My dad took me out for dinner a week later. We didn't talk about Melissa much. Mostly we talked about his retirement plans, what he wanted to do with his newfound free time. At the end of the meal, he said, I'm proud of you for walking away. That took more strength than staying would have. Coming from him, that meant everything. I ran into Trevor at a coffee shop about a month after everything went down. It was awkward. We both saw each other, both considered leaving, both decided to stay. He was picking up a mobile order. I was waiting for my drink. He walked over. Hey, I just wanted to say I'm sorry about how everything went down. I didn't know the full situation when Melissa invited me to that party. Did she tell you I wasn't comfortable with it? He hesitated. Not exactly. She said you were fine with us being friends. I wasn't, I said. And clearly you two are more than friends now anyway. Yeah. He looked uncomfortable. For what it's worth, I didn't mean to cause problems in your relationship. You didn't cause them. She did. He nodded and left. I got my coffee and went home. Final update. It's been 3 months since my dad's retirement party. I'm doing better than I expected. I stayed in the apartment. Our apartment, now just my apartment. Redecorated a bit, got rid of things that reminded me of Melissa, made the space feel like mine. I've been focusing on work, going to the gym more, spending time with family. My dad and I have lunch every week now. My sister sets me up on blind dates occasionally, though nothing's stuck yet. I'm not in a rush. Melissa texts me sometimes, random messages about things she forgot at the apartment or asking how I'm doing. I keep responses short and polite. I heard through mutual friends that things with Trevor are complicated. Apparently, she expected their relationship to pick up where it left off 4 years ago, but he's different now, and so is she. Turns out nostalgia doesn't make a solid foundation. My mom asked me last week if I regretted skipping the party. I told her no. That party was the moment I chose myself over someone who wasn't choosing me, and I'd make that choice again every time. Emma said the family still talks about it, how I just disappeared to the beach while my girlfriend showed up with her ex. It's become sort of legendary. My uncle brings it up at every family gathering now. Remember when Connor went to the beach instead? And everyone laughs. My dad doesn't bring it up much, but once when we were having lunch, he said, "That weekend at the beach, that was you drawing a line. I'm glad you finally drew one." Me too, Dad. Me too. Edit 1. A lot of people are asking if I felt bad about missing my dad's retirement party. Honestly, a little. But my dad understood, and that's what mattered. We celebrated properly the next weekend, just family at his favorite restaurant. It was better than the big party anyway. Edit 2. Yes, Melissa and Trevor are still together as far as I know. No, I don't keep tabs on them. I heard through friends that they moved in together, which seems fast, but that's not my problem anymore. Edit 3. Someone asked what my mom said to Melissa at the party. According to Emma, my mom was polite but cold. When Melissa tried to explain that I had a work emergency, my mom just said, "Interesting," and walked away. My mom's "interesting" is devastating. Melissa knew.